Welcome everybody to the Controller Sports Airlines. Today we're going to be flying to 3 random locations. The first one is Saudi Arabia. Basically what I did is blindfolded myself, spun around in a circle, threw 3 darts at the world map. Wherever it landed is where we're going to be headed to today. Really what I did was used a Google Maps random GPS coordinate generator, but it's the same idea. So what we're going to do is take off here from the Al Bur highway strip in Saudi Arabia, somewhere out there in the Middle East, and there's not even a proper runway out here, as you'll see. I mean, I guess this is a runway, but it's also a highway, some sort of road out here with cars on it and everything else like that. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off the road here and try to take off on the side of the road. I've never been to an airport like this before. I don't even think this is an airport. This is just a place where they take off from. I don't know. Can't really call this airport. As you'll see, we go back by, you'll get a better view of it as I take off here. Okay, we got lift off. Whoa, now, okay, I need to get more speed, I think. I almost kicked myself back into traffic there. But what I'm going to do is make a U-turn and go to our destination. See, these are places I would have never thought to go to. And you never know what you might find out there until you get a random GPS coordinate and head to it. And you never know, man. You might see something interesting. So look at this. This is interesting right here. That's the airport that they sent me to take off from. Now, let's see. We got these big old circular formations. They almost look like crop circles out here. It looks kind of like water, half foliage or something. I don't know. That's not a pond though. You'll see on my instruments on the inside of the aircraft, it's not showing water. So I don't know if this is some kind of oil well or some sort. This could be the oil fields they have out there in Saudi Arabia, where they get all the oil from, make all their money, sell it to the United States, sell it to everybody else like that. This could be where they're getting it from. I think I might have found something here, guys. Now we're getting to a little bit of civilization here. I think I see some buildings down there, and there's also some foliage here. Maybe this is some sort of irrigation, because this is all looks like barren land out here. There's a lot of desert stuff like that. So maybe they're, working, bringing in some water, some kind of farming out here. Maybe they're drilling for oil as well. If you guys know what these circles are, I mean, you'll see they are everywhere out here. I'm flying up pretty high, and you'll see that you can just count them left, right, back, and center, all over the place. All that you're seeing here, for the most part, is those circular formations. Now, these don't look like residential areas either, so I'm thinking that this is maybe the oil people. These are the oil guys out here, oil barons and everybody working for them and stuff like that. They're getting the oil to sell, and that's what they do out here, and they make oodles and boodles of money. Oil is big money out here, let me tell you. Just ask Dick Cheney and George W. Now these might be like where they're collecting it right here and getting ready to ship it. Looks like some old containers of some sort. And now we're getting some more buildings in the middle of the goddamn Middle East. Look at this. Now I found a city out here. There's a little bit of traffic down there, some I think waterways as well. It looks like maybe some business going on down there, and this is the airport. So this is more like an airport I'm used to. There's actually a runway. There's no cars on the runway. As you can see here, there's actual buildings and everything else like that. My cup of tea here. I don't like taking off in the middle of traffic, so I'm gonna take it slow though. Now, taking off and landing are the hardest parts of flying an airplane. Once you get up there in the airplane, it almost wants to fly itself. There's more to it than that, but compared to taking off and landing, flying up there in the sky is the easy part. You can just kick back, relax, and you gotta pay attention to your instruments and your meters and your RPMs and this and that. But this is definitely the hardest part here. But I'm taking it slow, taking it low, and trying to use my flaps to slow down as well. You got flaps. See, I'm not a professional pilot. Okay, I just started doing this, but not bad there for my first handful of landings there. All right, we have a touchdown there in Saudi Arabia. So I think I landed on the runway backwards. I was supposed to come in the other way, but I don't have all day to do that. So let's get off of the runway. And I saw some airplanes over here I want to check out. We got some big old I don't know what you call those, jumbo jets of some sort. Like I said, I'm not an airplane expert out here. Wonder where they're headed to. Maybe do they fly to New York out of here? I got my little plane out here. It's looking good. Gets the job done. Gets me from from point A to point B, and I can fly low so I can do some more sightseeing. Speaking of, let's head on over to the next place here. This is over near Venezuela. Now we got some greenery out here. This is looking nice. It's reminding me of my home state of Florida. It's looking lush, green, and nice blue skies as well. You can't beat that. So let's get a takeoff here. This runway is really short compared to the last one, which was a long old goddamn highway. Had all day as long as a car wasn't coming to take off. But this one here, we got to get this thing up in the air before we hit these trees in front of us here. So hold on now. I also see some water on the GPS map there on the bottom right. You can see this might be a nice little area we have over here towards Venezuela. So we're going to head to the destination. This is where the GPS coordinate is going to bring us to. So I'm just taking off from the airport that is pretty close by. Not too much of a trek here, about a half an hour flight, around that. So I'm going to get up here and out of what looks like a little island here. This is nice, man. Who comes out here and what are they doing out here? Let's find out. Okay, I have some civilization up here in the middle of nowhere. We got some kind of buildings just crammed all together in here, all by themselves in the middle of nowhere, Venezuela. Look, there's nothing really around here. Now we're gonna get to more civilization, I think, closer to our destination. But on the way here, there's some very interesting stuff. Just these random buildings. I would love to know what they do out there. Looks like it is not residential though. Now coming up here, I see something. This might be some more residential civilization up here, and we got some more water coming up as well. So I'm going to do a little bank so I can really get a good view out this left-hand window here. As you'll see, once I get completely perpendicular with something, there's a nice view out that left and right side window. Straight ahead's got a nice view too in this Cessna, but there are those bars that come across, but the money shot is out these windows. So that's what we got here. As you can see, now this looks more residential. A little town just kind of tucked away here by the water, all by its lonesome out here. It looks like they're living simple out here, but living the good life, man. There's not a whole bunch of big old buildings and pollution and stuff like that probably out here. Just a nice little town around here. You gotta love that, man. That's beautiful. Now there's also, you can see way off there in the horizon, some little mountains, and I don't know if they have much of a view of those, but hey, they're by the water. They got a nice little spot here. I would not be complaining. Now what's interesting is it looks like they have dirt roads. They're living simple out here, but they're probably living the good life, man. Sometimes that's the way to do it. Just simplify things. You don't need this and that and all this extra malarkey out here. Sometimes, you know what, all you need is a roof over your head, some water and some foliage, and that's about it. So they got that down. Now I don't see any bridges. I don't know if they're trapped on the island. I don't know if there's some sort of Jim Jones, some sort of cult commune compound. I don't know what it is, but I'm eyeing this island over here. I might make my own little compound over there on that island. I like that. Don't think there's anything built on there yet, but as you'll see, coming up here on our right is some more civilization. That's right, they built some stuff up here on the right, and we're gonna find out exactly what it is. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on out here. I just fly out here and try to learn something new about geography and this and that. You never know what you might find when you just go to a random place on the map out here. So we got right on the shore here, looks like some docks, so they do have a way of getting out of here if they need to. They aren't completely trapped, but I'm not seeing, like I said, a lot of bridges, a lot of transportation. It's a nice change from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is beautiful too in its own way, but I like the variety we see out here in this thing we call Earth. You gotta love that. There's a lot of space out here. As you saw earlier, we passed over the middle of nowhere. Now, this world is big enough for everybody. We don't need to be fighting over land, fighting over this and that. There's enough to go around. That's what you really come to realize when you're flying up here. You see how much land is available and how much is wasted, really, and how much more there is to explore. You gotta love that. So it looks like we have a little mix here, a little mix of residential and maybe some business building. Now I see these little islands out here. I want to see, is anyone living out here? What's going on these islands? Because I'm thinking about maybe setting up shop out here one day. So I'm gonna land. This is a seaplane. I got the floaters on the thing, and I can land this right on the water. I don't see an airport around here, so I think I'm gonna have to land on the water. And this looks like a cool little spot. I want to check it out, get a little bit closer. closer to it. So like I said before, man, this thing is kind of tough to land, but with the floaters and all that, and really I'm cutting the engine, I'm just cutting this thing off. I'm basically just flowing up here, just getting ready to drop. Okay, right now I'm going pretty darn fast, but I'm bringing the thing down. Okay, getting some air there bouncing off of the water. Now I need to slow it down. So I'm throwing the brakes on and everything else like that, bouncing up and down like I'm wakeboarding here, or tubing, getting some major air. We finally set it down. So that is a good landing there. I survived. Luckily, we're going to go to a new location. But before we do, let's take in this scenery here in Venezuela, or wherever we are. We're somewhere near Venezuela. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not a geography expert neither, or a expert pilot, but hey, we're getting up and we're landing. All right, so far so good. Now we're going over there towards China. This is Tibet, so we're taking off here at an airport surrounded by mountains. So I had to go with a different aircraft. I want to make sure I can get up over the mountains. I need to get more altitude. I don't even know if I can make it up over the mountain. We got the caravan out here. We're going to take off in this and get up over these mountains if we can to see what we're going to see here. I don't know. China, Tibet. Maybe we'll see some monks out here. I did see on the flight plan something about a palace, so that sounds pretty spectacular. Let's see what that's looking like. And first we got to get off the runway. It's looking nice out here. I like the mountain ranges and everything. Okay, we're up and at them here now. You can't retract the landing gear. I had to do that on my last airplane. I don't have to even worry about that now. It's kind of nice, but I can land on the water. That's the downside to this airplane. But I do like the view out the front here. It's pretty good. Beautiful people too, I bet. I wish I could get down there and get to know them. So here we are going up over the mountains now. We are at a high enough altitude. I think we're over the mountains. Okay, now I'm going to start to bring it down because I see the civilization and I think this is where that palace is going to be located. So I need to get up over this last mountain here, really take it down and see what we have down here. Down in this valley, really around these mountains, they just tuck this area of people together here, and they're protected by mountains. I could barely get my aircraft over it, so maybe that was a defensive maneuver that they did. And all of a sudden, look at this, man. There's just people everywhere out here. You gotta love that. So it looks like they're really packed in here. A lot going on. Big buildings. No skyscrapers, but compared to Venezuela, compared to what we saw in Saudi Arabia, there's some construction going on here. Look at this. So they still got the mountains all around them too. Let's see. I think I might see the palace there over the left shoulder. Now we're gonna bank over and get as close as we possibly can without crashing to this palace. But look at this out the window here. You know, it's nice to see. Sometimes you're flying over no man's land for so long. Whenever these buildings pop up, you're like, thank goodness, man, I was getting lonely up here. It's good to see some other people, something going on around here in this land. So here is the palace coming up here on the left. This thing is up on a hill. Whoever built this, man, knew what they were doing. That is some prime real estate up there. Look at that. That is a beautiful right there. Look, right up on that little hill. You got a good view of the mountains up over the other buildings. Look at the architecture on that. We're going to get a better view of that. We're going to swing around here. We kind of got that rear view. Now we're going to get a full frontal view coming up here in a second. I just got to bank this thing around without crashing. Hang on. There she is right there. Look at that nice little paved area coming up before that, like a courtyard or something. And then look at this, they got stairs leading up to it. That thing is huge. Look at that up on the hill. You can see that for miles, I bet. That is awesome. I love the Asian architecture. It looks so cool. There it is again there out the rear. Look at that. That's pretty darn sweet. So now we're going to explore more of this town. Let's see what's going on. We saw what the royalty's up to. Now let's see what's going on up here. Maybe in these mountains. I see that this town goes all the way up into the mountains. So let's explore it. Maybe that's where the monks live. Who knows what's going on, but we're going to find out. So I'm just following the water here. And then we're going to bank this left now to see how far this goes back and what's going on back up in here in these mountains. So now I'm going to have to turn this thing up out of here once we get in the mountains. I don't know if there's an exit point on the other side of this mountain, or am I going to have to crank a U-turn out of here? We're going to find out, but I really want to see where this goes to. Yeah, there's some pretty good sized buildings out here too. I don't know how they worked all this into these mountains like that. How How'd they bring all this stuff in here? They're surrounded by mountains out here. Look at this. They go all the way up into the mountain range. See, there's a main vein here going up into the mountains. They just keep going. They keep going up in altitude. These mountains are way up there too. You can see my plane's climbing to get up there. There is still stuff all the way out here. That is cool. What a place to live out here. Look at this, right in the middle of all these mountains. See, I'm used to Florida, man. It's flat as flat can be. So to get out here in the mountain range is really nice. Look, there's still stuff up here. Those are buildings down there in that shadow. All the way up here in the mountains. How far are they gonna go up this mountain? Let's see. I think that might be. Wait, is that more? No, that's snow down there. There's a building right there. They're still building stuff up here. Another building there on the left. What is that? A river flowing down there, down the mountain. Mountain ice just flowing down. You gotta watch out for. I don't know if they get snow up here. What do you call it? Avalanches. All right, so I'm gonna have to crank a U-turn out here. The altitude is getting pretty darn high. So I'm gonna need to either land it or get up out of here. Okay, hang on now. Hang on, I'm stalling out. Hang on. Alright, I gotta pull it up and crank it to the right here, but this mountain's in the way. Alright, now I'm slowing it down. Hang on, maybe I can just land it on the side of the mountain. There we go. Okay, nailed it. Oh, man, I jumped out. I survived. I jumped out, and my airplane rolled down the entire mountain there. I think it took down some of those little houses. I apologize for that. Man, we saw some beautiful land out here today. Hope you guys enjoyed your flight there, and I would love to go to 3 more next time. Stay tuned for that. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, this has been Rusty Pfluger. Rusty Pfluger, over and out.